to share with you about this returning resident visa. So what is a returning resident visa? This is the visa when your permanent visa expires. Now, it's tricky, isn't it? Australia has a permanent visa, but once you've got third permanent visa, it doesn't mean that you don't have to renew. You still need to renew after 5 years. Your travel facility is only valid for 5 years. The returning resident visa will need if you need to travel out of Australia, because this is the permit for you to return to Australia. Now, for instance, now what do you do right after your permanent visa's travel facility expires? Right, you need to return to Australia. If you're in Australia, for instance, for the last 4 years, in the last 4 years, you spent 3 years out of 4 years in Australia, and then you're eligible citizenship. Now you are eligible. It doesn't mean that you have to apply. It just you can apply. If you have your citizenship approval, which is a citizenship certificate, right? It doesn't say you have Australian passport. You still need to go to apply Australian passport. Citizenship certificate. If you have that, you will no longer need visa. Okay, you don't need a visa to return to Australia because you're Australian citizen. Now, the problem is some people forget about that permanent visa has an expiry date. They thought, oh, permanent visa, fine. I'm here straight permanent. Of course, if you're here, stay here permanent, never want to go out of Australia for holiday, things like that, then you don't need a renewal. But as long as you leave Australia, you need a permit to return back to Australia, you then need to check whether your visa is still valid. If your permanent visa is expired, the travel facility expired, you cannot use the same permanent visa to return back to Australia. I'm saying same. Nobody cancel your visa. Nobody cancel. It's just you can't use that same visa to return back to Australia. So what do? Okay. Which is I strongly urge someone, if you decide to depart Australia for a long term, apply returning resident visa before you depart. And if you believe that you're probably not going to return back in a very short amount of time, probably 2 or 3 years time, apply before, when you're eligible, before you leave. Okay, make sure that it's actually your previous one permanent visa is about to expire. Now, apply before, and then after you got permanent visa, you can leave Australia. So it's kind of funny, isn't it? You have to apply before you leave. Now, how long are you granted, depending on how long you spend in Australia before the expiry date. Now, I have a general idea which is I want to share with you. Very simple, very straightforward. So 2 out of 5 years. If you stay in Australia after your permanent visa approval, no, so it's not after the permanent visa. Yeah, after permanent visa approval, 2 out of 5 years, they'll grant you another 5 years of returning resident visa. Okay, it's called RRV, returning resident visa. This kind of visa, a subclass is 155. You see, 155. So if you did not spend 2 out of 5 years after your permanent visa approval, then you only be granted 1 year of returning resident visa. These things are same, okay? Same, RRV. If you did not spend a day, for instance, and then you depart without a permanent returning resident visa, then you apply to enter Australia again, they will issue you 3 months of 157. Okay, you don't need to remember this because that's when they approve the visa, you just apply the same returning resident visa. You see, there is a different subclass. That's it. So if you did not spend a day or you depart without a returning resident visa, then you will your visa expired. Then this is 3 months. So 3 months. What do? Okay, of course you need to enter Australia within that 3 months because that is your valid date. 3 months. Then you do that. You then apply this one. Okay, you apply this one. Apply 155. If you then leave again Australia, right, but return back within the next 1 year, you apply this 155 again for 1 year. So on, so forth. Okay, so on, so forth. And candidate who. So if you check Department website, it's kind of strange because what they say, yeah, you should, of course they say so. If you want to return on temporary, if you were Australian permanent resident visa, right? But then the visa expired. You were a permanent visa holder, but then your travel facility expires, so we can't use that visa to return back to Australia again. And then you say, okay, you know what, I'll just apply a temporary visa. When you apply a temporary visa, you need to apply for the permanent visa straight away. Okay, this is some people make mistake here. They thought, oh my god, so that previous one is already expired. What am I going to do? Oh, I don't know what to do. And they just apply first tourist visa. They did come, and then they depart Australia, and then they come again on the same tourist visa second time. Now there's a problem here. Department say, okay, you know what? You're kind of tourist. Right? What's the reason you need a permanent visa? So for you to return without a, because sometimes really hard to pull permanent visa when you are offshore, overseas. Even they say they'll give you three months. They say, okay, if you don't meet 155 returning resident visa requirement, which is at least 2 years or at least 1 year, it's really discretionary. But if you're the date that for your stay in Australia, they refuse you on 155. Okay, they refuse you on 55. What do? You return back when you can. Return back on a visitor visa. Okay, on a visitor visa. Don't apply family sponsor visitor visa because you can't lodge on shore in Australia if you're on a sponsored family visa. Okay, don't apply any other visa because any other visa will actually replace your permanent visa. Come here on a normal tourist visa, ETA, or 600 normal tourist visa. Apply returning resident visa immediately. Now, if you in Australia apply returning resident visa, they will grant you a 1 year. Can you depart? Yes, because you can actually depart. Of course, you need to remember before the expiry day expired to come back again within the next 1 year. Within the next one, you have to return back to Australia. We've seen cases where candidates return back every year just to apply a returning resident visa. That is good. So the longer you're absent from Australia, the harder you get returning resident visa because you are unlikely to demonstrate Australia ties if you left so long. Now this is the situation, okay? This is situation when it's become tough. You were a citizen, then if you can still apply if you show the ties, then you spend less than 5 years, less than 10 years first. But if you spend more than 5 years, less than 10 years, this is really tricky, very important date you have to remember. We have 5 years benchmark, I will have 10 years benchmark. Now for 5 years, it's really okay most time if you can demonstrate 2 elements. A reason you have to leave Australia, which is companion reason, or have a job, or my great dad is sick, blah blah blah, things like that, and then I have to, and then I have to be with the family so long time. Then first 5 years good. Okay, first, but you need to demonstrate the reason you depart Australia. Okay, so if you are living outside Australia less than 5 years, usually you just need to demonstrate reason that why you departed, and now why you are returning. Okay, now you need to demonstrate these two. If you depart Australia for more than 5 years, this is really important. More than 5 years, but less than 10. More than 5 years. This is the case. We have to have a really strong case of these both two elements. Or that's both elements. But if you leave Australia for more than 10 years, it's become really tough. Now, I have to tell you that we've done cases where candidates actually left Australia for more than 10 years. And we gave a really compelling reason, not compelling reason in the same, but a reason that it's argument in terms of legality, because this is a policy. We used an act to argue this policy is against. They have to, what it's considered a comparable reason, meaning which is the level of acts which is not considered if we are considered any other acts. Okay, so this is really important. Now, in calculating, first of all, it's 2 years, 2 years, and 2 years is actually 2 years. Okay, now the date of departure normally don't have the full count. Right? So first of all, make sure when you say departure, check how long you still have in the permanent resident visa. Permanent visa applied before expiry date. So it can be applied. You can apply it in Australia and outside Australia. Okay. outside Australia. Really depending on the current situation, if you can travel in outside Australia. So if you left Australia for more than 10 years, it doesn't mean your permanent visa is gone. No, don't wait until it's application. Find a professional to help you. Of course, we've dealt lots of these cases. I was really experienced in doing that. So I don't want anybody left Australia 2 years ago and say, oh my God, I can't come back. Or am I going to do all of that? And then in between, the permanent visa expired. In between, the permanent visa travel facility expired. Then they say, oh my God, I don't know what to do. My permanent visa, I can't come back. What am I going to do? You have to apply returning resident visa. Now, when applying, people ask me, fill out a form. A form is simple and easy. It is not about the form. It's immigration. You need to provide evidence and you need to provide a written statement. This is the goal that you have to convince them, because this is really discretionary. It's left in the case where you spend less than 2 years in Australia and then you depart so long, and if you don't have a companion visa, or you can't think about anything that's companion. Now, because it's discretionary, Australia ties can be substantial benefits. When people looking at these substantial ties, they are kind of panicking and think, oh, what am I considered substantial? I don't think it's anything substantial. It's just I'm a normal person. Anything can be substantial if you can prove your case. That is the beauty of argument. Anything can be ties. So you need to get out of the story, think about the whole story, make sure that you make it that true. What you believe in your head, it's not what the immigration officer believe in their head. It's important because they are decision makers. Okay, they are decision makers. I hope this helps you. So if someone's permanent visa expired or about expire, or expired quite a few years, or spent less than 2 years, or being absent for more than 5 years, but absent more than 10 years, reach out. Do not stay and then suffer, because I have experienced some of candidates, they probably about to expire. They expired more than 4 years, but less than 5 years. This is the golden time to apply returning resident visa. Do not miss it, because if you pass the first golden line of 5 years, becoming much harsh. And tell you what, the permanent visa at the time you approved probably was not that hard. But now it's become, you have lots of competitors waiting there. Okay, so bear in mind, put that in place and apply. Seek professional service. I always encourage candidates to seek professional service. So register in Australia, but register migration agent or register immigration lawyer. Go find immigration website. I can just quickly search Mara. So it's easy. You can just search people around you, especially you want to find someone who's currently in Australia. Why? Because that's how they connected with what they understanding of culture ties. Culture ties is employment ties, business ties, and personal ties. All right. So Mara, it's really place to find a best migration agent first. Of course, you want to read the Google review, things like that. It's really straightforward. I don't want anyone to risk, because I've had quite a few candidates. They wait so long. It's a lot of stress when it comes to the time where you decided, you have a spouse or you have kids, you want to bring parents over, then, all your permanent visa is gone. So you can always get a permanent visa back by applying returning resident visa. The level of effort, depending how long you spend in Australia, what did you do before you leave, and the reason you departed, and the reason you want to return. Hope this helps.